The Turn 4 Perspective. Weekly dirt racing news brought to you by Brooke John Peer.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of season 2 of the Turn 4 Perspective. This week is the well-known and coveted episode of the World Finals, which takes place every year in the first week of November at the dirt track at Charlotte Speedway. And that is what this episode will be focusing on, is the World Finals, which covers the World of Outlaws, sprint cars, and late models, and the Super Dirt Car Series. I have one small piece of tea as well, but it's mainly just for me to brag and slightly complain about it. And it's my podcast, so I can do what I want. But anyway, let's jump into the World Finals. So we're starting off with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. And on Wednesday, they had their qualifying day, just like everybody else did. And for this, whoever gets the top time/score gets to take the pole for the heat race, the first heat race, that determines who starts pole for the feature race. And so they had two sessions, one for Thursday and one for Friday. And then based on who won those, they put those for the pole on Saturdays, right? But for Thursday and the Friday sessions, Cy Lynch took both. For the Thursday session, he pulled a 12.661 second lap. And for the Friday session, he pulled a 12.8990 second lap. I was not expecting Cy Lynch to make any waves at Charlotte, to be honest with you, but it's really not a surprise that he did, because he has been dabbling with both series throughout this entire season. So it is very interesting to see him go and just beat people out. And as for the other people who got the outside pole, meaning second place, for the Thursday session, that was Garrett Williamson with a 12.763 second lap. And for the Friday session, it was David Gravel with a 13.015 second lap. These are about the same times that the sprint cars run at Ransomville, which is my home track. Although I have seen them go down to 12.4, 12.2. I believe the record at Ransomville is a 12.19 or something. It's definitely not above like a 12.25 or something. But that is about what they run at Ransomville as well. So that seems to be like, if you're running good, like that's what you run. But anyway, that is what the polls were on qualifying day and who got them and stuff. So moving on to the feature races, which started on Thursday, Rico Abreu took the Thursday race and David Gravel got second. And on Friday, David Gravel won the race and Rico Abreu got second. They went and did a little swap around, which on Friday, that clinched David Gravel the championship for the second time in a row, and he got to take home the coveted trophy once again. But Saturday, which was the biggest race of all, was taken over by a Buddy Kofoid, who came out of nowhere and won it in like a last lap pass. So that was very interesting. And it was also very interesting to see Abreu go into the Woo sanctions and just completely take over and just completely dominate practically. It really shows that High Limit is just as good as Woo. I personally think Woo is better with the fan stuff they have, because I've seen both in person and they have more freebies for the fans. Woo does, when High Limit kind of like limits you, because like they, like a big thing at races for Woo is they have their sponsor flags everywhere, and they also have like two major series flags, and the two major series flags are like very coveted and you cannot find them because they are like gone in like 5 minutes of the gate opening. I have one because the people at Weedsport apparently are rule abiding or something, but I got one and it's coveted. But basically, High Limit does not have those kinds of flags around, and it's like very sad because like part of the appeal of going to a dirt track is that you get free merch like that, right? Yeah. But anyway, moving on to the World of Outlaws Real American Beer late models. I could not find any of their qualifying stuff on Wednesday. I know they had a qualifying session on Wednesday, but I could not find it because the website, which is where I find all of the stuff at, is catered towards the sprint cars because the sprint cars are apparently the favored series. I like late models better than sprint cars. But the website is catered more towards them, so I could not find anything on the late models. But I did find winners, though. So on Thursday, a Lucas Oil guy won it in a last lap pass as well, and that was none other than Hudson O'Neal. He did a last lap pass going into turn 4 around none other than the Jonathan Davenport, and he won the race. Which is very interesting because Jonathan Davenport won both Friday and Saturday. But the champion of the World of Outlaws late models, which he clinched at Eldora, where he won both times, none other than Bobby Pierce, he didn't really do all that hot in Charlotte. Like, he did good, but he didn't do as well as he has in the past. So it was interesting to see 2 Lucas Oil guys win it because Jonathan Davenport also races Lucas Oil. So it was really interesting to see them come into Woo territory and just completely do the same thing that Rico did with the sprints, just dominate. I would like to see these guys like have more races like together because it's just really interesting to me. And I'm going to say my T part now because we're talking about the late models. The schedule for the World of Outlaws late models was released today, and they have 61 races planned for this upcoming season, and one of them is at my second home track of East Alabama Motor Speedway. They have not been there in 12 years, and I got really excited when I seen that they were going. And I'm like, oh my god, yes! Maybe I will be able to see them finally. No, they're going on Friday, March 27th. That's a great day. That's my dad's birthday / my parents' anniversary day. But like, I'm going to be up here in college, so I cannot go down there to go see it, which is really sad because I would love to see them. Because like, East Alabama is like one of the best tracks for late model racing. Like, people flock there from all over the world to freaking race there because of the high banking and everything. But like, why can't you do it in August or like July or something? Why do we have to do it in March? Bro, we will have a foot of snow here, and then down there, going in circles. Lucky bastards. But anyway, moving on to the final series of the World Finals, the Super Durker Series. On Wednesday, they had their qualifying session as well. I couldn't find the times because the Super Durker Series website is like, I don't even know how to describe it. There's so many pop-ups, it's like somebody hacked it or something. But I could not find times, but Matt Williamson got both sessions with QuickTime, so he got pole for both of the heats on Thursday and Friday. And that worked out for him on Saturday. But Thursday, Matt Shepard won it. I mean, there's no surprise there at all. On Friday, Alex Payne won it which is a little bit of a surprise, but it's still not that much of a surprise because, as I've been saying all season, Alex Payne is an up-and-coming guy, as is Alex Jankowski, so it's really interesting to see them come up and everything. But on Saturday, Matt Williamson won it, and he also won the championship for the second time in a row, and he also got to take home the trophy as well. But Matt Williamson did break a record since 1997. No driver had won both the small block and the big block championships, and Matt Williamson did just that. He won both, and he broke the record that's been unbroken since 1997, and it's by a Canadian. So that's also interesting because we're finally getting some international stuff going on. Because, like, these are the world finals, but, like, most of them are from America. But we're finally getting somebody from overseas, although it's not overseas because Canada's practically connected to the U.S. But we're finally getting some international relations going on, finally, which I find really, really interesting. But anyway, that is all for this episode. I can't wait to go to the World Finals in person at some point. I wish I could go to Eames in March, but I can't. And that is it. I will try to make content if T comes out, but I might not see you until the start of the next race season, which will be in February down in Florida. And if that's the case, that will be the start of season 3. But I do believe that I should have some info, and if not, I will see you in February with season 3. Thank you all so much for listening. Send feedback if you have it. I appreciate anything and everything, and I will catch you in the next episode. Have a great day. Bye.